Hey guys, good evening. In this session, we'll be covering BRS. Now, what is BRS? BRS is nothing but it's a statement which will explain the reasons for differences between cash book and passbook. Now, we have a cash book and we have passbook. Now, this cash book, in cash book, we are referring to the bank column of cash book alone, not the cash column. So, we are talking about the bank column of cash book as well as passbook. So, ideally, these two balances should be same at any point of time. But due to some reasons, what happens is there will be a difference between the cash book balance and the passbook balance. I'll repeat, I'm talking about the bank column of the cash book. The bank column of cash book and passbook may not be same always. So we're going to identify what are the reasons is due to which there is a difference between cash book and passbook. This is what BRS is all about. So look at this theory part. BRS is a statement which explains the reasons for differences between cash book, bank column of cash book and passbook. Now, why BRS is prepared to identify if any frauds has happened in the business. Now, what type of frauds will happen here? I'll explain you in short span of time. So if at all any frauds has happened, it's a pilferage kind of frauds, where the accountant will steal the money from the company. I'll explain this one right now. See, let's say I'm in charge of handling the bank transactions. Now, uh, as an accountant, since I have a access to the company's bank account, there is a possibility that I might steal the money from the bank account. So if I steal the money from the bank account, what will happen? The real bank balance in passbook, the balance will drop. The balance will go down. But will I pass any accounting entry in the cash book? There is no. I won't pass any accounting entry here. So what happens? The cash book balance will be showing a higher balance, but in reality, my bank balance has come down. I hope it's clear. So what happens is these types of frauds where the accountant steals the money from the bank account, this type of theft and all can be identified through BRS. Not all the frauds can be found through BRS. Keep this point in mind. These types of frauds where someone is stealing the money from the bank account, all these types of frauds can be identified through BRS. That's what we're referring to in this point. To identify if any frauds, stealing from bank account, etc., has happened in the business and to present the true financial position of the enterprise. So what happens is, besides this frauds and all, there could be other reasons as well which causes a difference between cash book and passbook. For example, let's say I have some fixed deposit in the bank. Now, what the bank will do on the maturity date or at some point of time on some frequent intervals, the bank will give us interest. Now, what happens whenever the bank pays us interest, the money will be deposited in the bank account. So, the passbook balance will go up. Since I'm not aware of the receipt of interest, I would not have passed any entry in the cash book. So, my cash book balance will be low. So, what I should do to show the correct financial position, what I should do, I should pass an entry in the cash book, right? So these types of differences, so this receipt of interest would be there where they would not have captured it in the cash book. So these types of entries are not passed, then the financial position doesn't show the true picture. So in through BRS, I'll be able to identify the reasons for differences. When I see the passbook and cash book, I identify, okay, I have received the interest, but it's not recorded in the cash book, so I have to record the interest. So all these points can be accounted in the books of accounts, which will help us to disclose the better position of the financial statements. This is what BRS will help us to do. So it will help us to identify any frauds has happened in the business, this kind of pilferage frauds, and if any entries are not recorded in the cash book, through BRS, we can identify those types of entries and we'll be able to record it in the cash book so that the financial position becomes true and fair. So that's the concept here. In essence, BRS ensures a company's books reflect reality and transparency. Which book? The cash book we're talking about. So the cash book should show a true position because through cash book only, I'll be preparing the balance sheet. From cash book, I'll get the closing balances of cash and bank. I'll pick those balances and I will take it to balance sheet. So for preparation of balance sheet, cash book will be vital, the base. So if cash book is wrong, the amount what we're going to show in the balance sheet will also be wrong. So to show the true position, the cash book should reflect the reality. So these types of transactions where it has been entered in passbook but not in cash book or vice versa, We'll make the adjustments in the cash book. We'll get the revised cash book balances. That cash book balance will be taken into balance sheet. Now let's start here. How to do this BRS? Now, before going for BRS, some basics we should know. Uh, let's speak of cash book first. Now, in cash book, only the bank column, cash column of cash book is not relevant from BRS perspective. So, cash book, favorable balance means debit. Unfavorable balance means credit. I'll explain you the logic behind this. Now, why cash book debit side is called as favorable balances? For this, to understand this concept, let's speak of, let's take some basic examples for this. So cash book debit is favorable, cash book credit is unfavorable. So what is the logic for this? So it's very easy one. Let's take up some transactions now. Let's say cash deposited in bank rupees 2 lakhs. Now for this transaction, what is the accounting entry we will pass? So we are depositing the cash in our bank account. So entry will be my bank balance will increase, which is an asset. Bank increases, I give a debit, and cash decreases, I give a credit. The entry will be what? Bank account debit to cash account. So for this transaction, entry is going to be bank increases debit, cash decreases credit. So entry is bank to cash, right? So what I will do in the bank account, bank ledger, what I will do, I'll give the posting as 2 cash 2 lakhs. Then I'm talking only about the bank column of cash book. I'm not bothered about the cash column. So in the bank account, bank ledger, I'll give a debit as 2 cash for 2 lakhs rupees. Next, sold goods rupees 50,000. I have sold goods for 50,000 rupees. Now what is accounting entry here? So entry will be bank account debit to sales. Assuming that I'm receiving the money through bank transfer, so my bank balance goes up, bank account debit, sales is an income, income is increasing, credit. So entry is bank to sales. Now what is the posting in the bank account? In the bank ledger, on the debit side, the posting will be to sales account. Next, amount received from debtors 60,000. What is the entry for this transaction? I'm receiving money from customers. Entry is bank account debit to debtors. So in bank ledger, the posting will be on the debit side as to debtors. Next one, paid to creditors 35,000. I have paid 35,000 to my supplier. What is the accounting entry? Creditors is a liability. When I pay the creditors, the liability comes down. So liability will be given a debit. When it decreases, so entry is creditors account debit to bank. So in bank ledger, what is the posting? It will be by creditors. So on the credit side, it's by creditors. Paid EB bill 10,000. What is accounting entry? It's a payment. The entry will be EB bill account debit to bank. So in bank ledger, what is the posting? By EB bill. So on the credit side, it is by EB bill. And last one, purchase goods from Z, rupees 12,000. So for 12,000 rupees worth of goods has been purchased from Z. What is the accounting entry? Purchases account debit to Z account. In the journal, there is no bank transactions involved here. So what happens? The ledger also, no posting will be there. This point will be ignored. So I hope it should be clear. So for the first 5 transactions, we'll have some posting in the bank account. Sixth transaction, it's a credit transaction. There is no bank involved here. So what happens? In the bank ledger, no posting will be there. Now, after these 5 transactions, what is my closing bank balance? It comes to 2,65,000. Now, the point to be noted here is the debit side of the bank account. If you look at the debit side of bank account, what it shows the receipt part. So all the inflows will be captured on the debit side. That's how the modern rules are built actually. And what is the nature? It's an asset, right? So when asset increases, when the bank balance will increase, when there's an inflow of money into the bank account, the bank balance goes up, right? So when bank balance goes up, I give a debit. So when we receive the money, the favorable transaction for us. We're getting the money, no, we're happy with that, right? So all the receipts will be taken as a favorable balances. That's why we are saying that favorable balances means, sure, we're referring to the receipt part. So if we receive the money, it will be shown on the debit side of the cash book. And if you make some payment to someone, so here I'm making payment to whom? I'm making payment for creditors, making payment to creditors, then I'm making payment for my electricity bill. So all the payments will be captured on which side? Credit side. So cash book, credit side shows the outflows. So all the outflows will be shown on the credit side. So any unfavorable transaction means outflow is what? It's an unfavorable, no? Whenever money moves out of the bank account, we feel sad, no? So I'm losing this money. So it's an unfavorable transaction. Unfavorable transactions will be shown on the credit side. Favorable transactions will be shown on the debit side for the um, cash book. So cash book, look at this point here. For cash book, favorable balances means debit, unfavorable means credit. Now, the logic for cash book. Now let's look at the passbook. Passbook will be built in the opposite way. Passbook, favorable means credit, unfavorable means debit. Actually, what is the logic for this? See, what happens is cash book is built from our perspective, but who is giving us the passbook? Passbook is given by the bank. So, for example, let's say I'm having a bank account in HDFC Bank. So, in HDFC Bank, I'm having a bank account. My bank balance in HDFC Bank is an asset to me. From my perspective, my bank balance is an asset. I'll call it as a debit balance. But passbook is given from bank's perspective. Bank is the one who is issuing us the passbook. So from bank's perspective, we have to give the passbook. So from bank perspective, whenever I deposit money with the bank, and it's a very easy one. When I deposit money into the bank, I will say that my asset goes up. But for the same point, look at this point here. I have deposited 2 lakhs into my bank account, right? My bank balance goes up, no. So what I will say, my asset is going up by 2 lakhs. But for the same 2 lakhs, what the banks will say, for bank, this 2 lakhs is going to be a liability for them. They have to pay to me. So whenever bank balance goes up, from our perspective, it's an asset going up, so I give a debit. But what the bank will do, for them, the liability goes up. For example, before this receipt, let's say I had a bank balance of some number, let's say 6 lakhs. I have a bank balance of 6 lakhs. Now, there is a additional inflow into the bank account to the extent of 2 lakhs. Now, this 6 lakhs, the original bank balance before this transaction, this 6 lakhs is what to a bank. For them, it's a liability because they have to pay me. No, HDFC Bank has to pay me 6 lakhs is a liability. Along with the 6 lakhs, they have to pay me just 2 lakhs as well. So, whenever the bank balance increases, cash book we will give a debit because from our perspective, the asset increases, I give a debit. But from bank's perspective, they will say that liability is going up. So as per modern rules of accounting, when liability goes up, what I will do, I have to give a credit note. That's why any receipt in the passbook will be shown on the credit side. So all the credit transactions in the passbook is a favorable component. And any unfavorable means what? Unfavorable means making the payment. So whenever I pay money out of my bank account, what happens? In cash book, I will show on the credit side. Because bank asset decreases, it will be given a credit. So unfavorable means cash book credit because cash book is built from our perspective. But in passbook, what will happen? From HDFC Bank, so I had a bank balance of 8 lakhs. So what happens? I'm making a payment of how much? 35,000 to my creditor. So what will happen? From 8 lakhs, 35,000 will reduce. The revised bank balance will be 7 lakh 65,000. So 8 lakhs was a liability. From bank's perspective, think now. What the bank will do? From 8 lakhs, 35,000 is reduced now. The liability drops to 7 lakh 65 no. So when liability decreases, what we will do? Accounting rules, when liability reduces, we give a debit. That's what we are doing here. So unfavorable balance means in passbook, it will be shown on the debit side, but from cash book, it will be shown on the credit side. That's why you have this discrepancy between debit and credit. So favorable cash book is debit, passbook is credit. Unfavorable cash book, it's credit, passbook, it is debit. The logic should be clear to everyone. Don't try to buy hard this. It's a very easy concept. Just should know that from whose perspective we are building the book. Cash book is built from our perspective. Our angle will be viewing the cash book. But passbook is not made by us. Passbook is issued by the bank. So from bank's perspective, we have to think about the passbook. That's why we have this variation between the favorable and unfavorable balances. So with this background, now let's look at some scenarios here. Now let's move on. So what is summary here? When we receive the money, cash book will be in cash book. The receipt will be shown on the debit side as we shown in the ledger. So I will give a debit in the cash book. But the same receipts, what will happen from bank's perspective, their liability is increasing. So what will happen? All these receipts will be shown on the credit side of the passbook. So when we receive the money, cash book will be shown a debit, passbook will be shown a credit. When we make a payment, when payment is made, what happens? We will give a credit to the cash book because from our perspective, we will say that asset is decreasing. So I give a credit. But from bank's perspective, they will say that the liability is decreasing. The liability towards us is decreasing. So when liability reduces, they will give a debit. So cash book is on the credit side and passbook will be shown on the debit side. Now let's take up let's look at the reasons which causes the differences between cash book and passbook. So causes of differences between cash book and passbook. First one is what? Timing differences. What is timing difference? Certain transactions will be recorded at one book first and subsequently the other book will be recorded on later date. I'll give you some example for this. One of my customer, I have sold goods to a person called, let's say, X. A person X is there, he is my customer, I have sold goods to him. Let's say the amount is 10,000 rupees. Now, X has to make me the payment, right? He has made me the payment as well. What he has done, he had made a bank transfer. Uh, so he has transferred the money from his bank account. He has made a fund transfer. So what happens? In my bank account, the balance will go up. But since I'm not aware of the receipt part, what will happen? I would not have passed the entry in the cash book. So what happens here is my bank balance actually goes up, but my cash book. But in the cash book, since the transaction is not recorded, why it's not recorded? Because I was not aware of it. Once I am aware of it, I'll pass entry in the cash book. So till that point of time, what happens? The passbook will be showing a higher balance, cash book will be showing a lower balance. So this differences is what we call it as timing difference. What is timing? So in both the places, the transactions will be captured, but at different points of time. So in between the time gap, differences will exist between the passbook and the cash book. So when we receive the money, initially the passbook will go up immediately. After seeing the passbook only, I'll make entry in my cash book. So the cash book will also be increased on a later date. So until that point of time, we have some differences, which we call it as timing difference. I'll give you one more example for this. Suppose I make payment to a supplier. Let's say I have a supplier called Y. I have made payment to him. Let's say I issued a check to him. When check is issued, what will happen? We will record that issue of check immediately in the books of accounts. So what happens here? When the checks are issued, since the entry is made in the cash book first, the cash book balance will go down. But when will the bank balance will go down? That check the supplier has to deposit in his bank account. When the supplier deposits a check in his bank account, at that point of time only what will happen? The money will move from my bank account to his bank account. So if there is a delay in depositing the check in his bank account by the supplier, my bank balance will not decrease. But my cash book has already gone down because at the time of issuing the check itself, I would have passed an entry as if the payment has been made. So the cash book will be showing a lower balance, passbook will be showing a higher balance. So once again, this is a timing difference. Once the supplier deposits a check, automatically my passbook will also go down. So this is what we call it as timing differences. And second concept is difference arising due to errors in recording the transaction. What type of errors? Sometimes what happens is I will record uh, I will record twice or thrice in one of the book. For example, I have made payment to my supplier Y. By mistake, I will pass two entries for this payment. So Y to bank, Y to bank, like that. Two times by mistake, I would have passed some entries. But so cash book would have gone down by two times. But what happens in passbook, only one time the amount would have been reduced. So these types of errors will also be there, which we can find out through BRS. So basically, the reasons for differences between cash book and passbook is basically because of two reasons. What are those? One is the timing difference. The other one is the errors in recording transactions. So it is because of these reasons only we'll have a mismatch between cash book and passbook. And the last and final possibility is the frauds. So whenever someone is stealing the money from the bank account, the bank balance will reduce immediately, but no entry will be passed in the cash book. So that type of frauds will also be found out through BRS. So actually, frauds angle is there, but in our material, the frauds point not have been given to us. So I'm not included that point here. But actually, it's a timing difference, the errors, as well as the third part is the frauds. There are three broad reasons for a mismatch between cash book and passbook. So let's move on now. Let's take up some examples as to how to prepare a BRS. As I told you, just a simple addition subtraction only. Very easy one. Let's start now. Um, let's go with some examples. So look at this question here. From the following particulars, prepare a BRS statement for Jindal Offset Limited. So for this Jindal Offset Limited, you have to prepare a BRS now. Now, what is given to us for preparation of BRS? I need one of the bank balances, either the cash book or the passbook. You can go with whichever one you want. So, in the question, either cash book balance will be given to us or the passbook balance will be given to us. Now, balance as per cash book is 2 lakh 40. Now, what they're saying here, on the date of preparation of BRS, I have taken the cash book. Cash book is showing a balance of 2 lakh 40. What is the balance as per passbook then? Sometimes it would have been given in the question, or sometimes they may not give you the other book balances. So in this question, let's check it here. Look at the sixth point. The balance as per passbook is 2,86,950. Now, what happens? I have a cash book balance and I have a passbook balance. So cash book balance is 2,40,000. Passbook balance is 2,86,950. Now, what is our objective here? You have to find out the reasons why there's a mismatch between cash book and passbook. So let's start here. Since both the records has been given to us, we have both cash book as well as passbook. It's entirely our choice. You can either start from cash book as a base and go for passbook, or you can start passbook as a base and go for cash book balances. So whichever way you want, you can go. It's entirely your call here. So in this question, I will do in both the ways. So initially, we'll start with cash book, and after doing the BRS, we have to check whether they are getting the passbook balance, which is 2,86,000 entities there. No, we must get this bank balance. Alternatively, you can start with the passbook balance. After doing the BRS, we should check whether we're able to get the cash book balance. So let's start now. Now, what is given to us? For BRS, there are n number of ways for preparation of BRS. I follow the hand movement. I'll explain you how this is done. What is the logic behind this? I'll tell you now. Let's take up this question. Now, since we can go with both the records, I'm going to take the base as cash book here. So I want everyone to do this parallelly, because without the hand movement, you won't be able to get the logic for this. Don't try to by heart it. It's a very, very simple concept. Just you should know addition, subtraction. That's it. So I'm going to start with my cash book as a base. So whichever book we are taking as a base, that should be my left hand. So in this case, I'm starting with cash book, right? So cash book will be taken as my left hand. Automatically, right hand will be my passbook. Now, both the hands should be on the same level. I repeat, both the hands should be on the same level. Please do it parallelly. Don't just listen to me. I want you guys to move your hands. Now let's start here. Left hand is cash book and right hand is passbook. Forget the balances and all. Just remember that left hand is cash book and right is passbook. That will do. Ignore the amount to like what no need of these amounts right now. Now let's take the first transaction. Look at this point. What is this point here? Checks issued but not presented in the bank amounts to 1,36,000. What they are saying here, uh, uh, you have to identify 2 points. Once you read a transaction, you have to check for 2 points. The first point is whether it's a receipt or a payment. Take up that point. The second one is in which book the impact is there. I repeat, you have to identify 2 points in the transaction, whether it's a receipt or a payment. Second point is in which book the transactions has been recorded. So coming back here, checks issued but not presented in the bank amounts to 1,36,000. What is the meaning here? Look at this word, checks issued. What is the meaning of checks issued? It means it's a payment. I told you, identify 2 points. The first point is receipt or a payment. Second point is in which book the impact is there. Now, checks issued now, it's conclusive that it's a case of payment. Now, in which book it has been recorded? Not presented in the bank. What is the meaning for this point? Not presented means, it means that the supplier, I have issued a check to my supplier, the supplier has not deposited the check in his bank account. So when I issue a check, what happens? I will make an entry in the cash book immediately, right? So when we issue a check, we are in control of cash book. Once a payment is done, I will record the payment in my cash book. So what happens? When I make some payment, the bank balance for cash book. Bank balance for cash book will increase or decrease. Think logically. You make some payment, the bank balance will reduce, no? So what happens? My cash book will go down. I want you guys to make the hand movement now. Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. It's a payment. When the payment is made, what happens? The bank balance will reduce, no? So what happens? The cash book, since the entry is made in the cash book will go down. And what about passbook? In passbook, there is no movement because the checks are not yet presented in the bank. What is the meaning for that? Supplier has not yet deposited the check in his bank account. Only when he deposits the check, that bank will collect the money from our bank account and they will be transferring it to that person's bank account. So unless checks are deposited, the money will not move from my bank account. The bank balance passbook will be showing a same balance, but cash book will be showing a lesser balance. There's a mismatch, right? Now, once transaction for transaction, if you have made the hand movement, for BRS, you have to plus minus your left hand. Right? Always plus minus your left hand to match with your right hand. To match with right hand, you have to increase or you have to decrease. The cash book is here, the passbook is here. So what you should do, you must increase it. So for point number 2, it will be a case of addition. So we'll be adding this point. Now how to present this? Only for one question, I'll show you the presentation. It's very simple, just addition subtraction only. Now what you should do here now, for illustration to uh, have this kind of structure, particulars, rupees. Give the title, BRS. Do we know the date? BRS, date is not given to us, right? So BRS for Internal Offset Limited as on, BRS will be prepared on some respective date. Not for a period, it's for a specific date. So on some date, they're preparing the BRS. On that date, uh, balance as per cash book. So balance as per cash book is how much? We are having a cash book balance of 2,40,000. So balance as per cash book is 2,40,000. Now, since for this point it's a case of addition, what I should do in the add component, you have something like add this. So print down the base. Cash book is my base here. After entering the balance as per cash book, then go for add. In add, just copy the words from the question. What is the point here? Checks issued but not presented. That's the point summary. No, just copy it from the question itself. Checks issued but not presented. And what is the amount? The amount comes to 1,36,000. That's it, over. So to just add this transaction for BRS. So for point number 2, it will be a case of addition. So one more time, let's do it parallelly. Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. Now what happens? Both the books should be of equal balances. Now for point number 2, what has happened? Since checks are issued, it's a case of payment. Payment means bank balance will drop. Which book the balance will drop? Entries are in cash book only and not in passbook. So passbook will remain same. Cash book would have gone down. The cash book is a lower amount. Passbook stays same. For matching with right hand, what I should do? I must plus minus my, I should increase, I should plus or minus my left hand only. So for BRS, plus minus your left hand only. To match with right hand, I have to increase my left hand. It's a case of addition. Done. So let's go for third point. Checks deposited. When you read this center, this word deposited, you can say that it's a case of receipt payment. When I'm depositing the check, when can I deposit the check? Only when I receive the check, I can go for a deposit. So checks deposited means it's a case of receipt. So this is a receipt part. So what happens? My I'm depositing the check means what happens? Um, so checks deposited means when can I deposit the check? Only when I receive a check, I can go for deposit. So checks deposited means it's a case of receipt. So in this transaction, it's a case of receipt. And what is point number two? You must check in which book the impact is there. So checks deposited in bank, but not yet cleared. What is the meaning for this word not yet cleared? It means that I have deposited the check in my bank account. Once I deposit the check, it's not a magic that I'll get the money immediately. There are some process involved here, which will take at least a day or two. So that's what we are seeing here. I have deposited the check, but not yet cleared means the bank is taking some time to clear my check. Generally, 1 to 2 days it will take for check clearances. So once I deposit a check today, if I deposit a check today, tomorrow or day after only, I'll be receiving the money in my bank account. So now in this time gap, a mismatch is there. No, you have to go for BRS. Now, so let's come back to our hand movement. Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. Now, what I should do? It's a case of receipt. In which book the receipt is there? The receipt is there in the cash book. What happens? My left hand will go up because it's a case of receipt. Receipt means the hand movement should go up because it's inflow. No, the bank balance will increase. Which balance? My cash book balance will increase. Since a check is not yet cleared, my passbook stays the same. So what I should do for BRS, left hand is here, right hand is here. I want you guys to do it parallelly. Without that, you won't be able to get the logic for this BRS. So please do it parallelly. So left hand goes up, right hand remains same. So for matching with right hand, what I should do? I must reduce my left hand. So this is a case of subtraction. So point number three is a case of subtraction. Next, point number four. Bank charges amounts to 300. What is bank charges? Once I read this entire word, bank charges, it's clear that it's a case of payment. Bank is charging 300 rupees from me. So it's a case of payment. In which book the impact will be there? Bank charges, bank is charging the money now. They are in control of passbook only. So automatically, the impact is there in the passbook. The case of payment, and impact is there in the passbook. So what I should do? Left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. It's a payment. In which book the payment is captured? Passbook. So passbook is my right hand. What happens? My right hand will go down. And what about my left hand? Cash book remains the same. So what I should do for transaction, the movement is over now. Plus minus your which hand? Left hand. So to match with right hand, what I should do? I must reduce it. So once again, this 300 will be shown as a reduction. I repeat, left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. The case of payment, in which book the payment is captured, bank charges means it's in the passbook. So passbook balance will go down, cash book remains the same. So passbook reduces, cash book stays the same. For transaction, the movement is over. Finally, plus minus your left hand. You have to reduce your left hand to match with right hand. It's a case of subtraction. Now let's go for this answer key. For point number three, checks deposited but not cleared. Answer is yes, no. So come to the less column. What you should do here now? Checks deposited but not cleared. What is the amount? What is 90,000? 90,000. So give a reduction of 90 here. And for the next point, bank charges, the amount is 300, right? So here at a point, bank charges plus 300 minus 300. Next, let's speak of point number five. Interest credited by bank. Is the one interest credited by bank. So general interest two possibilities. The case of interest payment or interest receipt. This is a case of interest payment or interest receipt. How do we know? That's why we have this clue word credited by bank. So just now we discussed bank credit means what is the meaning? Bank means they are in control of passbook, no? So bank means we're talking about passbook. Passbook credit means what? It's a favorable transaction, meaning it's a case of receipt here. So whether interest is a case of receipt or payment, it could be both the possibilities are there. But credit by bank means it's very clear we are receiving the interest. So interest credited by bank amounts to 1,250. So what we should do here? They are receiving the interest. It's a case of receipt. In which book the impact is there? Cash book or passbook? It is created by bank. Bank is in control of passbook. So what is the scenario here? My passbook has gone up and cash book stays the same. There's no movement in cash book. Passbook alone, the cash passbook has balances has gone up. So for transaction movement is over now. What you should do? Plus minus your right hand. We are left hand. So plus minus your left hand to match with right hand. What you should do? You must increase your left hand. So this is a case of addition. So 1250 should be added. That's the answer for this question, for this fifth point. Now, uh, go for the solution. In the add section, interest credited, interest credited will do. Amount is 1002, it's 1250. That's it over. Now, what you should do, take this amount to outer column and take up the negative portion to the outer column. Now, find out the revised balance. If you do this plus and minus, what is this balance is called as? You have started with cash book balance you have taken as a base. So the resulting answer will be called as what? Balance as per passbook. So what you can do is you can cross verify whether the passbook balance given in the question and our passbook balance are same or not. Both are same. It means we have done the correct BRS. If not, there are some mistakes in our BRS. So from as per our computation, the passbook balance comes to 286,950, right? Look at the question here. What is the balance for passbook? 286,950. So the passbook balances matches here. That means we have done a correct working. That's it. BRS is over. So a quick summary. What is BRS all about? It's about finding the discrepancy between or the reasons for differences between cash book and passbook. So which transaction has caused the differences between cash book and passbook? We'll find out and we'll go for a BRS. We're trying to prove that it's because of these transactions only there is a mismatch between cash book and passbook. So there is no accounting frauds and all in our there's no financial frauds. There's no financial frauds in our business. This is the point we are trying to prove here. Yeah, so we'll move on. And just for information purpose, BRS is extremely critical. In the industry, we have to compulsorily do BRS because in one of my cases where I have gone for audits, previous team didn't do the BRS properly. Did not properly. They haven't done the BRS itself. Had they done the BRS, you'd have found out the financial frauds in this business. But since they didn't do the BRS, what happened is the firm was blacklisted from auditing. So these kind of scenarios will happen. So BRS is extremely critical from industry perspective. So we have to compulsorily go for BRS. So this is the way BRS will be done. Now let's take up one more question, few more questions also. So illustration number 3. What is given here? On 31st of March 22. So on this date, as I told you, no, BRS will be done on a specific date. On 31st of March 22, the bank's passbook of Namrata showed a balance of 1,50,000. Which book? Bank passbook. So passbook balance is given to you. To her credit means what? To her credit means it means the passbook credit na it's a favorable. So the passbook is having a favorable balance of 1,50,000. While balance as per cash book was 1,12,050. So the cash book balance is 1,12,050, whereas passbook the balance is 1,50,000. So there is a mismatch between cash book and passbook. On scrutiny of two books, we ascertain the following causes of differences. So these are the points which has caused the differences she has found out. Now we have to go for a BRS. Now in this question, which balance is given to us? Cash book or passbook is given to us. Both the records are given to us. So you can take anything as a base. So you can start with cash book, arrive at passbook, or you can start from passbook and arrive at cash book. I told you no. For the previous question, I told you that I will be going in both the ways. I didn't do that. Let's complete that one right now. Then we'll go for illustration number 3. For illustration number 2, suppose what if I start with passbook as a base and I want to arrange the cash book balance. That's also completely possible. We can do that. Let's do that one right now. So I'm going to go with passbook as a base. If passbook taken as base, then how to approach it? Same scenarios, particulars, rupees, rupees. Now what you will do? Balance as per passbook is how much? 286 950, right? Now have these two columns, add and this. What happens is nothing different and all. You'll get the answer now opposite way. That's it. I'll just explain you this one. Let's come back to illustration number 2 itself. Now, since passbook is taken as the base, my left hand is passbook, right hand is cash book now. So you have to be very careful with the hand movement. Do it parallelly. Left hand is passbook, right hand is cash book. Now let's start here. For point number 2, because point 1 is information. There's nothing to do with BRS here. That's information. The transaction starts from point number 2 only. In point number 2, what happens? Checks issued but not presented. The bank amounts to 1,36,000. So once again, same story. The recepta paymenta. Checks issued. Checks issued means what? It's a payment and not presented in the bank. What is the significance for this wording? It means that fact is there in cash book only and not in passbook. So let's give the hand movement. Left hand is passbook, right hand is cash book. So what you will do? This is a case of payment. The impact is in cash book. Cash book will go down. Right hand goes down. Left hand passbook remains the same. So transaction, the moment is over. Now plus minus your left hand. So what you should do? To match with right hand, left hand has to be reduced. So 1,36,000 will be shown as a reduction. So what you will do? Come to the less part. Checks issued but not presented. And the amount is how much? 1,36,000. I hope it is clear. What we will do is we will show it as a reduction. When we take cash book as a base, this point was shown as an add component. When you take passbook as a base, it will have a reverse working. Concept is same only. The hand model is same only. Just that answer will be in the opposite way. So we can do it with the hand movement. So what happens? Cash book has gone down, passbook remains the same. To match with right hand, I have to reduce my left hand. So left hand is going down, so it's a case of reduction. And next point, checks deposited in bank but not yet cleared amounts to 90,000. Now what is the BRS here? Checks deposited now, it means the receipt but not cleared. What is the significance? It means that entry is there in the cash book and not in passbook. So it's not clear. No, there's no impact in passbook. What happens? Left hand is passbook, right hand is cash book. Now what is the movement here? My cash book has gone up. There is no movement in the passbook. Passbook stays the same. So for transaction movement is over. Plus minus your left hand only. To match with right hand, what you should do? You must increase your left hand. The case of addition. Right hand is here, left hand is here. To match with right hand, you have to add it. It's a case of addition. So in addition, what you will do? Checks deposited but not cleared. Amount is 90,000. Previous working, we showed it as a negative figure. Now it will be shown as a positive figure. That's it. Then third point, bank charges amounts to 300. What happens? Left hand is passbook, right hand cash book. Bank charges means a payment. In which book the payment is there? Bank charges will be in the passbook only. The passbook would have gone down. Cash book stays the same. For transaction, the movement is over. Now for BRS, you have to plus minus your left hand only. What you should do to match it right, you have to increase your left hand. The case of addition. The bank charges will be shown as a addition now. Charges 300. Next one, interest credited by bank. Just now we spoke about this. It's a case of receipt. So what happens? My passbook will go up. Cash book stays the same. The receipt and the impact is in passbook because Credit was given by the bank. It means passbook has gone up, cash book stays the same, movement is over. To match with right hand, plus minus your left hand. So what you should do, you must reduce it. The case of reduction. In minus, it will be 1250. So interest credited by bank. Okay. And amount is 1250. That's it over. Now take the balances to outer column. Find the revised balances. It comes to 2,40,000. What is this balance? This is the balance per cash book. That's the answer. Over. So since we have started with passbook as the base, the resulting answer will be the cash book balance. Let's move on. We'll move to illustration number 3. We discussed here, we have got both the records. Passbook is given to us as well as cash book is given to us. Now we can take whichever book you want as the base and you can arrange the other book balances. So the reasons are given to you in these following points. We have to go for a BRS now. Now in the answer key, what they have done, they have taken passbook as the base, right? Now what we will do is, let's do one thing. We will take cash book as a base here. Because for passbook you have the answer key. You can refer the answer key. For cash book, we'll try to find out, we'll take cash book as a base and we'll try to arrange the passbook balance. Either way, the logic will remain the same. Whichever book you want, take, the answer will not change here. So for illustration number 3, I'm going to start with cash book as a base. So what is the structure? Just get this here. So take a particulars, rupees column should be there. Add, leave some 4 to 5 lines gap, then less. Let's start now. What is given to us? We have taken cash book as a base now. So cash book balance is how much? 1,12,000. So balance as per cash book 1,12,050. Take it to the outer column. Then next one, look at this transaction. She has issued checks. After seeing this word issued checks, what should strike our head? Issued checks means a case of payment. There's a payment now amounting to 80,000, of which 32,000 were presented for payment. So out of 80, 32 were presented for payment. So what happens here? So there's a case of 80,000 rupees payment is there, out of which 32 has been paid off. What is the meaning here? It means that I have issued the checks worth 80,000, but 32,000 were presented for payment. Now it means that the supplier have deposited checks worth 32,000. The balance checks has not yet been deposited. So multiple checks has been issued by us, out of which 32,000 has been paid off. Now, what is the hand movement here? Left hand is cash book for us. That's the base we have taken here. Left hand is cash book. Right hand is our passbook. Now, what is the impact here? Look at this point. It's a case of payment. No, payment means the hand should drop. Which hand? Checks issued for 80, amounting to 80. That means what? While issuing the check, the impact will be in the cash book first. Because they issue a check, immediately I'll pass that entry as I will pass an entry that payment has been made. So my cash book will drop by how much? 80,000. And what about my passbook? Passbook will drop only by 32,000. I want you guys to make the hand movement. Without that, you won't be able to get this point. Please do it parallelly. So left hand cash book goes down by 80,000. Passbook goes down by 32,000 only. Now there's a mismatch now. What you should do? Increase or decrease or for transaction movement is over now. You have to plus minus your left hand. What you should do? You must increase your left hand. It's a case of addition. So how much you will add? Difference between 80 and 32. First, for 80, left hand drops, right hand drops by 32. Now, the mismatch is for the balance, how much? 48,000. For this 48,000, you have a mismatch. So, you should add, you should go for a BRS for this 48,000. So, what will happen is, this is a case of addition, no, checks issued but not presented. And what is the amount? It is 48,000 addition. Next point. She received a check of 5,000 which she recorded in her cash book but forgot to deposit to the bank. Now, what is the point here? received a check. That means it's a case of receipt. Again, I'll give a summary for this. Let's check for 2 points. What are the 2 points? First point is receipt or payment. Identify this. And point number two is what? Impact in which book? So first identify these 2 points while preparing BRS, whether it's a receipt or payment, or on second point is in which book the impact is there. These 2 points you have to identify always. So tell me, in this case, she received a check of 5,000. Now, received is a receipt. No, it's a case of receipt. And in which book impact is there? Which she recorded in her cash book. So it's clear that cash book the entry is made, but forgot to deposit at the bank means what? In passbook there is no impact. So go for the hand movement. Left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. So what happens? It's a case of receipt. And in which book the impact is there? In cash book. So what happens? The cash book would have gone up. Since it's not deposited, the passbook will remain same. Don't say the passbook has come down. Let's say that there is no movement in the passbook. So cash book has gone up, passbook stays the same. So for BRS, plus minus your left hand only, what you should do to match with right hand, you must reduce your left hand. It's a case of reduction. So 5,000 will be shown as a reduction. Checks received but not deposited. The scenario, so not deposited amount 5,000, right? So subtract 5,000 over. Next one. A check of 22,000 deposited by her has not yet been cleared. Has not been cleared yet. Once again, same story. First, receipt payment deposited by her. That means what? Who is her here? Her means he only. They are trying to from Narmada perspective. So Narmada has deposited checks worth 22,000. Case of deposit not been cleared. That means what? I have deposited the check, but I have not received the money in my bank account. So when I deposit a check, the impact will be in cash book first. So what happens? Left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. So what happens here? The cash book would have gone up, passbook stays the same. What will happen? Plus minus your left hand. What you should do to match with right hand, you must reduce your left hand. The case of reduction. So 22,000 will be shown as a subtraction. So come to the less part. What you should do? You must subtract it. Go for the posting. What you will do here? Checks deposited, but not cleared. The amount is how much? Is uh, 22,000. So subtract 22,000. I repeat, cash book has gone up, passbook stays the same. To match right hand, I must reduce my left hand subtraction. Next point. Mr. Gupta deposited an amount of 15,700 in her bank, which has not been recorded by her in cash book. So, same story. Receipt of payment deposited now, it's a receipt in her bank, but not recorded in cash book. So, cash book there is no impact. So, what happens in the case of receipt? His hand should go up. Which hand? Left hand is cash book. What is the movement here? 15,700 is a receipt no. So it's a passbook has gone up, cash book stays the same. So transaction movement is over. You have to do plus minus your left hand. What you should do to match with right hand, you have to increase the left hand. It's a case of addition. So 15,700 will be added now. So in the add column, enter 15,700. What is the point? Just coming from the question. So enter the pointers. Checks deposited but not entered in cash book. The summary 15,700 will be added. Then last point, bank has credited an interest. So there is a credit of interest in the bank. That means a case of receipt of 1,500 while charging 250 as bank charges. Now there's a 2 points are here. One is the receipt of interest, the one is bank charges. Don't try to club these two. You have to view it individually. So these are two different points actually. What should happen here? A bank has credited interest, no? That means the case of receipt. Left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. So it's a case of receipt in which book the impact is there, passbook. Passbook will go up for interest. For interest, the passbook will go up by 1500. Cash book, there's no impact. What happens? For transaction movement is over, plus minus your left hand. So what you should do? You first increase your left hand. So 1500 will be added here. So the answer, interest credited by bank. 1500 will be added. And for the bank charges, what is the impact? Left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. Bank charges is the payment. In which book the impact will be there? Right hand. So passbook will go down by 250. Left hand will remain the same. There's no movement in cash book. So what happens? For transaction movement is over now. Plus minus your left hand, you have to reduce your left hand. So 250 will be subtracted now. Bank charges 250 show as a reduction. That's it. Now in the outer column, take up the balances. Plus amount is this much, minus amount is this much. Do this plus and minus to get the passbook balance. 1,50,000 the balance as per passbook. So what is the amount as per passbook in the question? You have been given with the passbook balance as how much? 1,15,000. So this is the passbook balance. You have got this number. So that's it. BRS over. So as discussed in the previous question, you can start with passbook as a base, but you can write the cash book also. It's completely possible in whichever way you want. You can do it. So I have given you an idea regarding this BRS from cash book perspective as well as passbook perspective. There is one more section in this BRS which is called as the overdraft concept, for which I will put a separate video for that. So let's put an end to this discussion. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the chat box. I'll try to reply you. Uh, Thank you.